flip it upside. I'm going to start again, so we've got the recording absolutely full. So welcome everybody to a session today that's going to change your view on health and wellness. It's going to flip it upside down like it did to me. My name is Gail Pearson. I'm from New Zealand. I'm a specialist medical doctor and anaesthetist, and I've worked in private practice for almost 30 years. Now, as a medic, we are particularly skeptical, and I probably rank up there as one of the greatest. And when I was introduced to this new paradigm, healing from the inside out rather than the outside in, so we support our body's natural processes, using a new science called nutrigenomics, nutrition, yes, natural substances that influence genetic pathways, I just couldn't believe that this was possible. And then I read all of the product-specific, independent, peer-reviewed, published studies on these products. Light bulb moment. This is the medicine of the future. And as a medical person, it's time that we looked at validated ways to counteract these modern day ills. And with nutrigenomics, we have the tools. We're helping people and we're changing lives, which is why natural health is now my passion. And we're honored today to have a guest speaker who has also embraced this very early on and is extremely successful. So Dr. Skip Campbell, he grew up in Colorado. He went to high school in a place called Boise, and that's French for wooded, in Idaho, then went on to college also in Idaho, and he met his best friend, Jill, and they've been married now for 42 years or over 40 years. They have 3 adult children, 10 beautiful grandchildren. After they got married, they went to the military for 4 years, and then Skip decided that he wanted to go to chiropractic school, which he did, while Jill was doing managing departments and he was doing sales on the side. He established a particularly successful chiropractic practice in Denver. He averaged 300 patients per week, and he was making 30 to 40K per month. And he worked it as a chiropractor for 20 years. So what changed? Well, they were introduced to network marketing in 2009, and they've loved every single minute of it. And I've seen them on stage. They are just, they breathe it, they live it. It's just part of their life. They made a rank of Pro 7, which is pretty high in just 6 months, Pro 8, 28 days later, and Pro 9 the following year. So he retired from his chiropractic practice. That's a big decision for a medical person, and then took it on full time. But it didn't come without a lot of hard work, commitment, and dedication. So they currently live in their dream home in Washington. Skip likes to golf, and Skip and Jill ride Harleys and play with their grandkids in the pool. And owning their time, they've found, is actually one of life's biggest blessings. I've had the pleasure of meeting Skip in the poolside in the Dominican Republic recently, and last month in Brisbane. He's inspirational. He tells a great story, and he shares his secrets to success. And he's here today to talk to us about how he's done this, why these products are helping so many people in so many ways. So welcome, Skip.
Thank you for that. That was flattering and very nice of you. So thanks. It's good to be here. One of the other things I like to do, by the way, I only recently discovered, I like to golf, I like to ride Harleys, I like to come to New Zealand. My wife and I, like you said, we just had a chance to go down there, and man alive, that is a beautiful, beautiful country. Australia is also beautiful. Haven't been in the Philippines, waiting for an invitation. I'm just teasing, by the way. Josie, I see you there. I'm just kidding. So it's great to be with you guys. Thank you for that. Yes, I loved chiropractic. I want to say that first. I loved being in the military. I've really never not loved something I was doing. I loved being in the military. It was an honor to be able to serve the country. Except where I worked with bombs, bullets, and missiles. And so you're only allowed one mistake. And usually you don't get two. But I loved doing that. And then I loved being a chiropractor. Like every day, I loved going to work. I loved the people. I didn't necessarily, and maybe you can relate to this, Doc, I didn't necessarily love all the paperwork, and I didn't love all the insurance stuff and depositions and attorneys and all that other stuff. But I loved interacting with the patients in chiropractic. We kind of had that kind of a holistic look into things anyway, where we were just manipulating the spine and the joints to help people move better. And I think motion is life. And And so we would have patients who would crawl in and then walk out, and that was a really, really rewarding way to work. And my wife and I loved every minute of it. But we realized that we got into chiropractic for two reasons. I loved the profession, and I wanted to be my own boss. I wanted to own my own time. And what I found out, like a lot of people who start a business, they find out that they are owned by their business. And I soon realized that I just didn't own my own time. I was always working. To see those kinds of patients, you got to work awfully hard. Was always doing those things, and I didn't own my own time. And I had three kids. I wanted to be able to go to their ball games. I wanted to be able to take them on vacation, and have memories. And I was always at the practice. I was always tied to the practice. So when this came along, it intrigued me for two reasons. One was they said in the ABC primetime video, I hope you all have had a chance to see that, that Protandim can lower oxidative stress 40% after just 30 days. Holy cow, I have to break, time out. My wife, who I think is listening right now, has a really, really good friend out here in St. George that I think they went to the same school or something. And there's a doctor on this Zoom with the exact same last name. I know she is from the Philippines, but is Sarmiento a big name in the Philippines? Is that a thumbs up? Is Sarmiento a big name in the Philippines? Or maybe are these guys, okay. Maybe there's just a lot of Sarmientos. So, hey, Dr. Sarmiento, how are you? Sorry for that. So anyway, lower oxidative stress in 40%, after 40%, I knew what oxidative stress was. And I knew what it did and what it contributed to in the human condition. I knew that it was a big deal just for the fact that there were antioxidants everywhere. You couldn't swing a dead cat in a grocery store without hitting something that had an antioxidant in it, whether it was Fruity Pebbles or Cherry 7-Up. I mean, who knew those were health foods? But they were all packed with antioxidants. So I knew what oxidative stress was. And when they said they thought they could lower oxidative stress, when they said they showed that they could lower oxidative stress 40% in 30 days, I was freaked out. Like, I was genuinely freaked out. Now, you have to understand, this was before we knew this was a NRF2 pathway activator. We didn't, honestly, I taught a medical class, a neurology class at the University of Colorado Medical School, and a complementary alternative medical elective. And I went down to the library and started, because it was kind of started down at Webb Waring and down at University of Colorado. And I started doing my research, and Jill and I actually had a chance to go talk to Dr. McCord in the very beginning. He didn't understand exactly how it worked. He just knew that it worked. And he's kind of a big deal, and especially in anti-aging medicine. The enzyme superoxide dismutase in our blood is measured in McCord units, named after that guy because he discovered them. So we had a chance to go down and talk to him, and I was like, I cannot believe that this exists and nobody knows about it, and I hope I can make money. And so one of the things I kind of want to forewarn you guys on about is that I'm going to talk a little bit about why LifeVantage and why I joined this company. And I'm also going to talk a little bit about the business opportunity that it presents, because I do think the two go together. And so sometimes people get a little disappointed because they're hoping that I would dive more into PubMed.gov and explain, keep one and keep two proteins and all that stuff. And I just don't want to do that. I don't do that. I will talk about why I think we have breakthrough pillar products, and how we can use those products not just to make ourselves healthier and our friends and family healthier, but also wealthier at the same time. So, but that's a little bit about my story. We got involved with this because we realized we did not own our own time. I figured out that if you want to own your own time, you got to buy it back. You have to actually purchase it. And so that's what we set out to do, was just get our time back. And I tell you that also because in network marketing, and by the way, if you were listening, if you're listening to Dr. Gail, she didn't mention network marketing in our past. We were in the military. We did sales and Jill managed apartments, and then we became chiropractors. We had never done network marketing before. This was our first rodeo, and so I think that having a powerful why is a big advantage to having success in network marketing. And our why had been built on 20 years of being a chiropractor and not owning my time, and having too many times when I couldn't go to a game or I couldn't go to a dance recital or I couldn't do this or that because I had to be in the practice. So my why was kind of welling up inside of me. I wanted to be able to own my own time. So that's to make a long story long. I'm going to see if I can't share my screen right now and just sort of get to this. Hopefully right now you guys are seeing the PowerPoints. And thumbs up, Dr. Pearson, is that what you're seeing? LifeVantage PowerPoints? Okay. And so welcome to LifeVantage. This is kind of one of the PowerPoints that I try to go through. I like to talk about a couple of things, and these apply both to the science of it and the opportunity. I like to talk about the company. The fact that we're transparent is a big deal to me, our products and the demographic that how broad that demographic is. Our compensation plan, and I was just explaining the compensation plan earlier today to somebody, saying that one of the things I truly believe, and I know that we're all over the world here, but one of the great things about our compensation plan is that if you'll study and learn the compensation plan, you don't need a whole lot of other help outside of that. It's always nice to have it. But if you understand the compensation plan and the behaviors necessary to get paid, that's all you really need. If you do the income producing behaviors, our compensation plan is going to help you build your business the way it needs to be structured so that it is stable and strong and growing. So we're going to talk about the compensation plan, kind of our culture, who we are, LifeVantage, and then some of the growth potential that we have if we have time to get to that. So we're public versus private. I mean, we're a publicly held company in the United States. That simply means that the Securities and Exchange Commission, the FTC, scrutinize the things that we tell the public. So if I owned LifeVantage myself, I'd be very happy. But I could tell you guys whatever I want to tell you. I'm private and I own it, and I'm the only one that I care about. And so I could lie to you guys about how much volume we're doing, where do I get the raw materials, what's really going in the tablet. I don't necessarily have to tell you the truth about how much people are making. You just don't have to be as transparent as you do if you're a publicly traded company. So the fact that we're publicly traded means an awful lot to me, because that means that anybody in the world can go onto the internet and find out everything they need to know about LifeVantage. They can find out how many distributors we have, consultants. They can find out what our revenue is. They can find out how we get our stuff, how we source it, where it's put together. All of that is transparent for everybody to see. I love that. There's nothing to hide here. And that goes for revenue and profitability. So we have quarterly reports that come out. We talk about all of this, but you can see where and what research we're doing, the products that we're developing and how they're developed, our hiring practices, our commission structure, and then we also try to remain relevant by forecasting properly what we expect to do quarter after quarter after quarter. So it's a very, very stable way company, and being a public company allows a lot of let's say looking under the dress. Let's just say and we've talked about it already. We've got a couple of breakthrough products, category creating. I'm not even sure. I'm trying to remember. You used one of my favorite words when you were talking nutrigenomics, and honestly, I can't remember if that word was used much before LifeVantage came around. I literally think maybe we created that category of, well, I know that we created a category of supplement because nobody else could do it. And still today, nobody else can really do it. I originally called it epigenetics, but nutrigenomics, I think, is a much better way. And I want to start out by saying, you're going to hear me say supplement a couple of times. It is not a supplement, or at least our flagship product, Protandim, is not a supplement. I say supplement because A, I'm used to saying supplement. B, everybody knows what a supplement is, but a supplement, it's not a supplement. I don't get a very much vitamin C in my diet, so I have to supplement my diet with vitamin C. That's supplements. This is a completely different kind of, at least Protandim Nerve 2 is product. I'll get into that in a minute. And then we'll talk about how consumable it is, and the fact that I think, in my opinion, everybody needs it.
ABC
I'm not going to play this
report that aired in 2005.
For just a minute. You want to get an edge turning back the clock with just a few pills. So that's our ABC primetime video. And here in the United States, I'm just going to tell you, I'm sure you guys in your countries have something similar to ABC primetime. What I like to point out about ABC primetime is I want you to close your eyes and imagine for a second, Josie, that you own Protandim, you own LifeVantage. And ABC investigative reports, their job is to investigate, right? And a lot of times you'll see an investigative report by ABC primetime, and they're chasing down some CEO who's running to his car saying, no comment, talk to my attorney, no comment, talk to my attorney, because those don't always go so well. A lot of times when ABC shows up and knocks on the door, and there's like, hi, I'm John Quinones, and he's got video cameras. He's like, I'm here with the whole world, and we want to look at your product. And I say that because the majority of time, these are not favorable outcomes. They're trying to debunk, they're trying to poke holes in. And I want you to think about that company, LifeVantage, in the very beginning. You're just getting started. You've got Protandim Nerve 2, and you've got ABC investigative reports, which literally could end you like that before you ever get started. If John Quinones takes that pill for 18 days and his oxidative stress doesn't go down, that's it. It's over. There's no future. If he grows another arm or gets pregnant, that's even worse. So it was, to me, very telling that the powers that be were like, yeah, come on in. Why? Because we had peer-reviewed research. We already knew what this was going to do in John's blood. But I like to point that out because sometimes people don't necessarily think about this. This is our video, and it was done by ABC prime time. It wasn't done by LifeVantage, starring LifeVantage doctors and using LifeVantage research. It was produced by ABC, it was done by John Quinones, and it was using PubMed research. And so it puts us on a whole nother level when it comes to supplements or nutritional or nutraceuticals or whatever you want to call it. But if you haven't had a chance to see that, I really suggest that you go see that. What we showed was, obviously, John Quinones' oxidative stress went down dramatically. And oxidative stress is related to a ton of things. And one of the mind-blowing things I remember in the beginning was, this was way back in the beginning. I went and Googled. I went to PubMed.gov and typed in oxidative stress. There's about 140,000 articles. If you go do it now, I think there's over 350,000 articles that talks about oxidative stress as it relates to the kidneys, the eyes, the blood vessels, the brain, and oxidative stress and the damage that it does to the human body. 350,000 articles that talk about how bad oxidative stress is, one product that can do anything about it. I want you to go to PubMed.gov, which is where the US stores all its medical research, and type in oxidative stress and see the hundreds of thousands of articles, and then realize there's only one product that can do anything about it. Literally one. And that's this one. To me, it's mind-blowing. And then if having ABC Primetime validate your product by doing a video, or at least our initial product, Protandim, isn't enough validation, then we have PubMed. And some of these journals, Circulation, the journal Circulation, it's a cute name for a journal because it is the Journal of the American Heart Association. And the journal is called Circulation, so it's a play on words. But the journal Circulation did a study on Protandim, and they paid for that study themselves. Why in the world would they? Harvard and Louisiana State, Texas Tech and Northwestern, why would they do that? That's not us paying for those studies. It's those guys. And then publishing them on PubMed.gov. I don't believe to this day there is another nutritional supplement in the world that has nearly as many peer reviews as we have. Now, there could be peer reviews on omega-3 fatty acids, but not XYZ companies' omega-3 fatty acids and why they work. And so I know for a certain there's not another nutritional supplement company in the world with even one peer review showing it can lower oxidative stress. We are the only one still after all these years. You know why? Because it's not easy to do. It's not easy to do. And by the way, it's patented. Now, I want you to think about something else for just a second. We took 5 all-natural, very old ingredients: ashwagandha, bacoa, milk thistle, green tea, and turmeric. 5 things that people have been using for thousands of years in Chinese medicine. 5 things. We mixed them together and we were able to get a patent. Why would that be? You know, you can't patent water and ice. You can't mix those two things that are very, very old together and get a patent unless you can prove that your water and your ice provide the benefit that no other water and ice provides. That's how you get a patent. We have 6. So we were able to show in our patents that in this exact potency, purity, and combination, we can activate the NRF2 pathway in the body of everybody who takes it, and the result is a 40% decrease in oxidative stress in everybody who takes it. So we not only have validation by ABC Prime Time and PubMed, but we have protection and more validation by the fact that we were granted 6 patents. Again, not only do you not normally get those kinds of things, but you can't just mix them together and have them be different than everybody else and then get a patent, because after that, you got to prove that it works. So we were able to do all of those. And before I go on to college, and I got to tell you real quickly, I was in our CEO's office a couple of years ago when he got a phone call. And the phone call was from the National Institute of Health. I was there, sitting right across the desk. And the National Institute of Aging called and said, we had just concluded a study. The National Institute of Aging is a U.S. agency. It's been around for a while, and they've been studying things, lotions, potions, pills, drugs, whatever you could think of, that have the potential to extend life in a human being. And they were about to publish the results of a study showing that Protandim is, in their words, not mine, the only thing they have ever tested, ever shown to slow the rate of aging in the cells. Holy smokes, man! Are you kidding me? If you care about aging, and you think maybe you know other people who care about aging, this is literally the only show in town. Every other penny is being wasted if they're not taking Protandim Nerve 2. I wouldn't even care how much it costs. Now, it's relatively inexpensive, but if it was $200 a month, I'd take it. It is the only thing that helps me combat all the toxins and pollutants and our food, which is, by the way, I got to tell you, you guys need to stay where you're at in the Philippines, Australia, and New Zealand, because the food in America is terrible. It's awful. There are things that we put in our food in America that are illegal in your country. And so I could never imagine not taking that supplement. That's not a supplement, that Nerve 2 activator. It formulates that thing. It constitutes one of our big pillars of the company, Nerve 2 activation. We also have a Nerve 1 activator, which is really, really a powerful nutrigenomic, as well as an NAD activator. And one of the things I want to point out to you guys is, instead of, like I said earlier, supplementing a bad diet, what we're doing, exactly what the doctor said at the beginning, is that we're using nutrition to activate certain genetic pathways in your cells. The cells, every cell in your body, close that door. And it's, you know, we're the only one doing that. And so on to our next, I think, hugely popular and unbelievably efficacious collagen. I'm just going to tell you, I don't think Steve, our CEO, is on here, so I'm just going to say this. I was not a big fan. I'm a guy. I thought it was a scam. I knew that the collagen you'd buy at, you know, Costco or the grocery store or the department store, I knew that was a scam. So I wasn't a huge fan when we launched collagen. I just wasn't. I wasn't excited about it. I wasn't going to take it. And they gave me a bunch of stuff for free, so I took it. Market-wise, it's a huge market. It's a ginormous market. But I wasn't a big fan of collagen. I just wasn't. But of over the 20,000 different proteins in the body, there is one that dominates it without a question. It's collagen. It's pretty much what gives us our form. It gives it muscles, you know, connective tissue, skin, pretty much everything. Collagen is a huge part of that. I still wasn't super excited until I started taking it. Why am I excited about it now? There's only one thing. I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. There's only one thing I hate about our collagen. I'll just be upfront with you. There's one thing I hate about it. I hate having to clip my fingernails 3 times a week and cut my hair so stinking much. I hate that, because my fingernails grow like mad with this product, and my hair is growing like crazy with this product. I was not expecting that. And that's only half a joke. I really don't like clipping my fingernails. But when I started taking this product and I started realizing the benefits that some of you guys are reading about here, and my hair started growing in thicker. My wife and I, Jill and I, work out every day together. We go to the gym every day but Sunday, and work out. And muscle recovery, just to me, was noticeable, markedly noticeable. Collagen helps cushion your joints and improves gut health. It strengthens bones. It does tissue repair and eye health, liver function. Cardio flexibility. All of this is important reasons for using collagen. So why ours? Ours has kind of a threefold way of working. One is We activate your body. There's that word again. That's, by the way, if you want to know who we are, we're the activation company. We activate your body to start building more of its own collagen. One of the reasons why the lion's share of collagen products that you buy, other than this one, or especially every powder that you've ever had, you can't reconstitute that and do anything in the body. It just gets broken down in your gut, and then it just gets wasted out in your elimination system. So we activate the body's natural production of its own collagen. This is not pig collagen or any of that other stuff in the activation portion. This is your body's collagen. Then we help you replenish the collagen that you've already gotten rid of and maintain healthy collagen. So one of the things that we're very proud of is the genes that we activate with our collagen, and you can see them right there. But they activating those 3 genes boost collagen production by 5 times. It also activates the SOD gene by 2700. That's on top of the protanum nerve 2. Also, catalase, kind of an important gene, 202%. And it increases the type 1 collagen up by 42%. It helps the cells absorb collagen, and then it decreases the MMP9 gene that degrades collagen by 1/3. That is a lot, you guys. 1/3 is a lot. I'm going to tell you something real quick about medicine, and all the doctors on here can support me on this. If we discovered tomorrow that every single person, every single woman in the world who drinks more than 2 Coke Slurpees a month increases their chance of having heart disease by 5%, that would be a big deal, and everybody would go, oh my gosh, nobody should drink Coke Slurpees. They cause cancer or whatever. This is 33%. That is a huge number. Red quinoa extract. You can see what it does here with collagen density after 4 weeks. After 8, it's just simply, there's just nothing else like it. And it's only one of the products inside of our collagen. We also have hydrolyzed marine peptides they have 10 types of collagen in them, not just like 1 or 2 like everybody else has. And so 5,000 milligrams of HMPs from responsibly and sustainably caught fish. One of the things about being public is we have to disclose where we get all and we're proud to do that. But you can read that slide yourself. So citrus berry extract, this is part of the maintain. In case you guys missed this, it was the activate, it was the replenish, maintain, and then replenish. So we have 10 types of collagen in here, hydrogen, and then the next one, the citrus berry maintain. I didn't know that went back. So we have blueberry powder, pumpkin fruit. I've never heard of that at all. I heard people saying it, and I thought, are they saying pumpkin? What? Berry syrups, vitamin C's, and antioxidants, all to help maintain healthy levels of your own existing collagen. Your collagen is better than someone else's. So that's kind of a breakdown of the formula. Honestly, we don't have sugar, sweeteners, we're non-GMO. We don't have dairy, gluten, or soy in this. So it's very easy to take. It's very palatable. Why a liquid? Because it's the absorption. It's what's bioavailable. Honestly, you go and you spend almost the same amount of money on the powders, and you're getting 10 to 30%. So if you're spending $100 a month, you're throwing $70 to $90 a month away. Just the facts. That's just not me. That's just facts. You're absorbing 90%, over 90% of this. And so it's very bioavailable. And so we've got some pre and post pictures. Rather than tell the story, I sometimes like to show some pictures. Some of you guys know some of these folks. I'll leave these pictures up for just a second. And you can see a lot of these unretouched photos. Some of this stuff is ridiculous. Look at this stuff. Have you ever known anybody with that kind of flushing before? This girl with the discoloration in her skin. Look at this. Some of these I don't believe are the same person. If I didn't know them, I wouldn't believe they were the same person. By the way, I'm experiencing kind of what this guy on the left has experienced, where I had more gray hair in my eyebrows than I do now as a result of collagen. Ooh, I got to back up to this one. Come on now. Look at those legs. I don't know whose legs those are, but those legs on the left, they can't possibly be the same person. That's ridiculous, right? I mean, and honestly, if you're thinking about selling this stuff, sometimes, man, all you got to do is show the photos. You show the photos, they don't care what's inside. And so, again, some more hundreds. We've got hundreds. Also, if you look right here in the middle, the hair, this is kind of what I'm experiencing is I've got thicker hair for sure. And you know what's kind of crazy is that as you look at these photos, if this is what these folks are looking like on the outside, from using collagen. Can you imagine what's happening on the inside? Liver, gut, pancreas, kidneys, heart, lungs, all those really important, you know. I'm gonna have, I've got this slide on here for a minute. You guys, I love this stuff. It just came out. I don't know if it's available to you guys yet. Is it available, Josie, to you guys yet?
Yes, it is.
Okay, good. It's awesome then. If it's available, you got to go get it. Like I said, I'm a guy, but after collagen, I was like, okay, I don't care what we put out now. I'm trying, because I've had, in my experience, every single thing I've taken has been unreal, unbelievable, backed by science, you know, quality products. I'm going to try everything they put out now. The True Renewed Daily Firming Complex just flat works. I don't know how else to say it, but you got to try it. Put this stuff on your skin. Oh, by the way, my wife wanted me to remind you, in on the bottom, out on the top. She yells at me all the time, in on the bottom, out on the top. I would never know that. I'm a guy. I just kind of put it in and rubbed it around like this. Some of the stuff that's inside of our True Renewed Daily Framing Complex, more stuff. I thought Pansy was, I didn't know that it was a flower. Algae Complex, Nerve 2 blends. So together we can reduce, recover, and restore your appearance from the inside out. And there's just no other product line like this. And then we have a ton of other products. But let's get into the kind of the way you guys get paid. Honestly, I got a wacky theory. I think you could run around with some of the pre and posts and some of the lotions and just throw them in people's faces. They're going to rub it in, and some people might get mad that if you're just throwing lotion in their face, but some people are going to rub it in. And I mean, I know you guys, if you've put this on your face, you know right away, this is different, man. This is not the same thing. I think you could sip and glow parties with a little, you know, a little bit of activation of the skin, and you could build a huge business. But let's talk about it. We've got 5 or 6 or 7 ways of getting paid. I don't have time, obviously, to go over all of these. I will tell you that I honestly believe if you want to build, if your goal is to build a big business here, whether you want to have a big business because you really want to affect the health of hundreds or thousands of people, or whether you want to have a big business so that you can own your time back, if you learn the compensation plan and just start reproducing the income producing behaviors in yourself and in others, everything else is going to work itself out. Everything else is going to work itself out. So before I get too far into this, again, Josie or Doc, help me out. Are you guys on the Evolve Comp Plan now?
Sure am. Yes.
Yes.
Not yet. End of the
When does the Evolve Comp Plan start?
around December.
Okay. Well, it's up to you then. Do you want me to go over the Evolve Comp Plan, or just kind of cover our comp plan as a whole? And
Yeah, because we have Australia, New Zealand as well.
And are they on the Evolve yet?
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
Okay, then let's do it. Okay, so the Evolve Comp Plan, you guys, I got to tell you, man, this comp plan is unbelievable, and we pay some ways that we never paid before. One of them right out of the gates is the customer sales profit plan. So what's going to happen is you're going to, as a distributor, as a consultant, we get a different price necessarily than somebody who is purchasing retail or somebody who's going to purchase on subscription. You get to keep the difference. It's easy. This is an example. There's lots and lots of different products, so I'm not going to go too much into that. But you can save up to 10 to 20% retail versus consultant just in the customer sales profit. Now, my personal opinion is, yes, you're going to save 20% if somebody buys retail. However, this business is about leverage. And so the optimum, in my opinion, idea is to get everybody that you can to take a subscription. Just get on subscription where they don't have to worry about it. They don't have to worry about running out. It's just going to come every single month. It is really easy to cancel for those people who get freaked out by that. And then, yeah, you make a little bit less, but you have a base to build on every month rather than having to go out and start brand new. So that's my personal thing. We have a personal sales bonuses. And one of the things we do in this comp plan is we're going to take you as the consultant, all of your customers, people who maybe looked at this and said, I don't want to do the business, but I want to take your products, and you're going to put them in a barrel that's sitting next to you. And that barrel is basically level 0 to you. It's just right here. And you get paid up to 20% of everybody in the barrel. You can see on here, as your volume grows month over month over month over month, and you're doing this business, you get up to 20% combined here with this 20%. That's up to 40%. Okay. But on subscription, it's 30% of all of your customers' volume every single month. The way I like to look at this, the way I explain it to my consultants in the United States is this. In the past, we were out building the business. We're always looking for consultants. And somebody would say, I don't want to do the business, but I want to be a customer. And I'd feel like, oh, like I lost. You know, I'd get kind of bummed about it. Because they were going to be a customer and they were going to go somewhere in there. I was going to make 2 or 3%. I don't know. It wasn't very exciting at all. Now they're going to go into your bucket and you're going to make 30%. And now it can be kind of exciting and we can turn your failures into successes. Because as you're out telling the entire story of LifeVantage, people are going to say, I don't want to do the business, but I'm going to take your products. And I'm going to be completely honest with you. I think just about anybody can expect, if you talk to 10 people, if you can do a halfway decent story of telling your story and the company's story and showing people how to get paid, out of every 10 people you talk to, I think you're going to get 5 or maybe 6 customers and 1 or 2 distributors, consultants, out of every 10. Well, before we were focusing on the 1 or 2, and now I'm thinking you win all the way around. And I am genuinely, honestly, always really surprised when somebody sits through a meeting and says, I don't want to do either. I mean, I don't even remember when the last time that happened was. Somebody didn't either become a distributor, consultant, or be a customer. Now you get paid both of them, and it can be kind of significant. If you can do the math on this bonus plus this bonus, the previous bonus, when you've got $4,000 in customer SV, you're making $1,200 a month just on that. Something we did not have before. So that's kind of exciting. Our comp plan is called Evolve. Our last one wasn't really called anything. And we have now what's called the consultant path. And so when I've said this 2 or 3 times, but I really believe that somebody who dives into the compensation plan and starts to learn the plan can grow their business naturally and organically the way they should grow it. And you don't really have to completely memorize the plan. You just got to know how it works. So we're all going to start somewhere around here, around consultant 1. Didn't mean to do that. And the consultant 1, and you're going to earn 5% on your first level and 7. You guys don't necessarily need to know this, but what you can see is that the percentages go up as I move to the right, and the percentages go up as I move down. So the higher ranking you are, the higher percentages you get per level, and the deeper the amount of levels that you get. So we're going to pay 9, it's a unit level, 9 levels deep, up to 10%, down to 3%. Why 3% on your 9th level? And when you get to become an executive consultant, your 9th level is huge because it goes like this. So it's a great part of our compensation plan, and we have a check match that is just the gold. For those who want to know, if you're sitting on the Zoom and you're thinking, what I really want is I want to have unlimited wealth potential. This right here is the gold mine. The unit level is powerful, but being able to raise and teach and train leaders in your downline, leaders in your group, in your business, and then as they rank advance, your percentage of their check match goes up. In our old plan, as an example, we matched 10%, 5, 5, 5, and 5, right? 4 times, 5, 5, 5, and 5. So we matched 5 levels, 10, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. And if I enrolled Josie, man, I wish I had enrolled Josie. If I enrolled Josie, why didn't I enroll? I should have enrolled Josie. But if I enrolled Josie and I matched her check at 10%, that's a huge, huge check. Okay. And then, 5% at P. And then for some reason, let's say Josie decides to stop going. She goes to another company or she quits. I lose that 10%. It's just lost to me. It doesn't roll down. None of it rolls up. It was very, very restrictive. In this plan here, as long as you're the highest ranking distributor in your group or consultant in your group, and as you're qualifying here for rank, you're going to just get Gen 1, Gen 2, Gen 3, no matter where they fall genealogically in your group. If you can learn, no matter what rank you are, if you can learn to become a little factory of MC1, just crank it out MC1 after MC1, or kind of our foundational rank. Just You going out and helping people get to MC1 and teaching others how to help people get to MC1. If you start creating out MC1s, they start popping up all over your group, and you're going to get to match all their checks. As soon as you get MC2, you now start to match the checks of all the MC1s in your group. Okay, so you get the check match when you hit MC2, and you match everybody who's an MC1 and above. Okay, and ours was 10, 5, 5, 5, and 5. If you can see now, it's 20, 20, 20, 20, 20, 15, 12, and 12. Okay, so it's a much, much better. Now, here's the great thing about this one. It's uncapped. The potential in this bonus is completely uncapped. And so it doesn't matter how big you get, it doesn't matter how deep it goes, you can conceivably get a 12% check match on somebody that is 177 levels below you and will in this compensation plan. So again, if you're sitting here and you fancy yourself kind of a leader, somebody who really wants to grow a big business, something you could hand down to your children, you could will or whatever, then this right here, this is your machine right here, is building becoming an MC1 factory. And then the last part of our compensation plan is this monthly profit sharing. And you can see here, we're going to take 4% of the global revenue, put it in a big pile, divide it into shares, divided by how many people earn a share. And then if you're an EC1, you get a share of that. If you're an EC2, you get 3. EC3 gets 5 up to presidential, and Jill and I get 20 shares. Right now, they're 12 to $1,500 a month. So that's a pretty does one thing for you. It does one thing. First off, this makes it so that once you get this rank of executive, the entire company becomes your downline. And in case you guys didn't gather this already, I didn't enroll Josie, neither did my wife. And so that sucks for us, but because we get 20 shares of the global revenue of this company every month, Josie and I are on the same team, even if we're not the same genealogy. I go to bed, she wakes up and starts going to work, I get to make money, and vice versa. So that is just an awesome part of our compensation plan. That profit sharing is something that most people are never ever going to get a chance to experience in any other job or profession. I don't know too many places are going to hire somebody and say, and by the way, if you work hard enough, you're going to get this Coca-Cola, or you're going to get 1% of the global revenue of our company every year. That's never going to happen. I spoke about this earlier before. This is kind of just a U+2 kind of thing. If you can get yourself to diamond, you're going to be making $1,200 a month just on that one bucket. If you continue to do that behavior over time, you get to $40,000 in customer sales. That you're going to make $12,000 a month every month forever. Now, $40,000, does that sound like a lot? I mean, Jill and I do, a couple of $1 million though. It's not that much. You can absolutely do it. If you can teach a friend to do it, your friend that you enroll you're going to get 10% of theirs. And so that's per month, by the way. And then you're going to get a pool share if you have it set up that way. So there's ways of making, I think, some pretty significant income using our story on our compensation plan. So as far as our culture goes, this is something I'm almost the most proud of. I mean, I love our products. Obviously, I'm very proud of them. And I think our compensation plan it's brand new. It's the best in the industry. It's AI and ML, machine learning, computers designed it. It's the best performing compensation plan in the industry. But our culture, it is something I'm very proud of. We've been around. Jill and I are distributor number 12. We were the 12th distributors to join this company. And if we were to join Amway, which is a tremendous company, and work our guts out and be successful, which I believe you still can, you're never going to change the culture of Amway. You're just not going to change it. If you don't like that culture, blue suits, red ties, if you don't like it, tough. Too bad. Our culture, we're still young, and the culture is still new. We're very young and very new in New Zealand, Australia, and the Philippines. And so you guys are the guardians of that culture. And one of the things that I'm proud of is nobody on this Zoom is in my group. None of you. None of you are in my lineage. I didn't enroll Josie or any of these guys. None of you. So why am I spending my Friday night when I should be at my grandson's baseball game, which starts in an hour, doing a Zoom for you guys? Because that's our culture. That's our culture. My wife and I genuinely want you guys to be successful. We wouldn't fly down to Australia to help out if we didn't. And so we're just kind of regular folks. We're not Lamborghinis and bikinis and Rolex watches. If that's what you like, that's great, but that's not who we are as a company. We're just a group of, we're Team LifeVantage. And I love that about this company. It doesn't matter. For most of us, I know there'll probably be some bad apples here or there, but for most of the leaders, I know for most of the presidentials, we're just one big team. And that allows us to, again, share success techniques. You're going to have people on your team who can't stand the way I present, but they really might love the way Tyler presents or the way Blue presents. And it's like a smorgasbord or a buffet. You just take what you like and you don't take what you don't like, but everybody benefits with that. So for me, I love our culture. And so, we have unlimited growth potential. We're still in the startup phase, especially where you guys are at. We do have $1 billion goal and then we'll enter stabilization, but we're not there yet. We're still sort of in momentum. And so that's kind of a brief overview, I think, into what we have to offer. I don't know if you can tell, but I am bullish on LifeVantage. I don't have any doubts. Like, we're going to be $1 billion company. There's no question. We're 200 right now. You guys get to be a huge part of that. And I'm going to leave you with one tip before I take any questions. I can do that for maybe 5 minutes. People ask me all the time, like, maybe should I back up here? Well, Jill and I had this goal of being 10% of the company. We wanted to, when it was all said and done, be 10% of this company. We figured if we were 10% of the company, when the company's doing $1 billion, that would mean that our business was doing $100 million a year. And it would not only be super stable, but be very prosperous. And we worked really, really hard. And all of a sudden we were 10%. We said, okay, let's try to be 15%. I want to be 15% of this company. And somebody asked me one time, how do you do it? If that's what your goal is, how do you do it? I'm going to tell you what the secret is. The secret is you work when no one else is. You work your guts out all the time. And when other people, human behavior takes the opportunity to slow things down, you work harder. I'll give you an example. My wife and I worked really hard during Thanksgiving. In the United States, Thanksgiving is a huge holiday. Everybody shuts everything down for 3 days. Jill and I worked our guts out during Thanksgiving. Why? We're surrounded by family and friends. Why wouldn't I be telling about Christmas? People are shutting it down during Christmas. When Jill and I were trying to get to presidential, we were solely focused on presidential. And that's what we cared about. So we took the opportunity to work our guts out in December. December is supposed to be a really, really tough month to work a business and grow a network marketing business because of all the distractions in the world. And I'm going to tell you that Jill and I made the rank of Master Distributor Pro 10 on December 31st, 2011. And the reason is because we worked when everybody else wasn't. And that's why our share of this company grew. Now, right now, we're dead in the middle of the growing season. And our Jill and I grew by $100,000 last month. Our business did. And that will continue for a couple of months. And then the dog days of summer might get here, or it might be different down in Australia. If you think you guys are wanting to be a bigger part of this company and take ownership, then what you're going to do is you're going to work your guts out when nobody else is. Just when everybody else takes the excuse to not work, you have a reason to go build because you want to have a bigger share of this company. That's what I challenge you to do because we're still babies. We went from 0 to 200, created this number of presidentials. What do you think 2 to 8 looks like? It's 4 times as big, right? Or $1 billion is 5 times bigger than this. So you all have a unique opportunity. You could own the country that you're in. You could increase your share of this great company and have a real significant role in our company and our culture. So that would be my invitation to you guys. Just go single-minded focus on doing what you want to do here and helping others achieve success, and then you'll have that kind of success. So if there are any guests on here, I don't know if there are, but I'm going to tell you how I would always close a meeting in case there aren't any guests, just for the consultants. If there are guests, this is how I close a meeting. I don't like the word close. I'm not a closer. I'm not a sales guy either. And here's why. I genuinely don't care if somebody joins the business or not. Whether I invited that somebody, or that somebody was on my team. If you're on this Zoom, I really genuinely don't care if you do it. Like, there's no pressure. If you don't want to do it, you don't have to. And I know the person who brought you on the Zoom is probably like ixnay on the pressure thing, but the truth is, we're only looking for people who are looking. We're only looking for people who want to do this. So if you don't want to do this inside, just take our products. They're great products. They'll keep you young forever. Just do that. If you don't want to do this, you don't need a reason not to do it. Just don't do it. Just take the products and live a healthy life. But if you want to own your time, if you're like me or so many others where you didn't want to do the 40 to 50 year plan anymore, you didn't want to work for 40 to 50 years of your life, 40 to 50 hours a week, then this might be something to look at. I don't know that these kinds of opportunities come along that often. I know that Warren Buffett said that you usually get 2 of these in your lifetime, and if you're 40, you probably already missed one. I don't know how many of these you're going to have an opportunity to get into a company like this early with this kind of products and this kind of earning potential. So if you're thinking about doing the business, my advice to you is get started yesterday, because your circle of influence overlaps with somebody else's circle of influence. I've already alluded to this 2 or 3 times. I knew somebody who knew somebody who knew somebody who knew Josie. I did. Somebody I knew somebody who knew somebody who knew somebody who knew somebody who knew Josie. And I didn't get to that person fast enough. And so now Josie is in someone else's downline. And it eats at me because I didn't get there fast enough. I want them all in my group. Your circle of friends overlaps other people's. So if you want to do this business, do it with urgency. Get started right now. Don't take 3 days to make up your mind. Successful people just don't do that. Get started and get started yesterday. Get with the person who got you on here and say, I'm in, let's go. Talk to my friends. That's how we do this business. We do it with urgency and passion and excitement. And so my close is this: if you're on the fence, you have a decision to make. And by the way, these are all facts. My wife and I started talking to people 10, 12 years ago in our very first meeting in our house. We had 30 people. Some did it, some didn't. The ones who did it, we started talking to their friends, and we started talking to their friends, and started talking to their friends and their friends and their friends. And now, today, on April 4th or 5th, we found you and we put you on this Zoom, okay? Whether you decide to do this or not, we found you and put you on the Zoom. I'm gonna find everybody that you know. That's how it works. I found you, I'm gonna find all your family, I'm gonna find all your friends. So the real decision you gotta make is, do you wanna do this with us? You wanna help us find your family and friends? Or do you wanna watch us find your family and friends? That's the real decision you got to make. So make it quick. If you don't want to do it, you don't have to take the products. But if you want to, let's get started yesterday. You have a great team here. I mean, there are some real powerful leaders on this team that I can see on the screen right now. So you have everything you need. You got the products, you got the company support, you got the backing, you've got the leadership to be as successful as you can possibly imagine. Before I open it up, one quick question. Dr. Skip, how many presents do you make each week? As we were growing, my wife and I, to get to Pro 10 presidential, it's a minimum of 15 times a month, minimum. That means a presentation was qualified as, you tell your story, you tell the company story, you teach people how to get paid. That is a presentation. This would have counted as a presentation. If you had a guest on here, that's a presentation. Minimum 15 a month. We never did it. As an example, my wife and I did 41 presentations between the 2 of us in the first 8 days of December. So we did a lot. It's a full-time job, but it's 15 minimum per month. All right. So I appreciate you guys having me on here. I'm really honored to even be asked. I hope that's what you were looking for. If you guys, I'll turn it back over to you. If you guys got some questions you want to add, whatever, we'll just do whatever you want to do.
Thank you so much, Skip. You're the man who put the work in network marketing. That says it all. You know, you didn't get it handed to you. You've worked your butt off and you've now got the results. And that's what people need to understand. This is a relationship business. And I don't know if everybody else can understand Skip, but I have to listen really carefully. I thought New Zealanders talked fast, but he takes the record for speed talk, and he can get so much information in there so quickly and so effectively. It's just outstanding. I just want to close with a couple of things that you must remember. We're the activation company. And that's quite different to anything else that's around there at the moment. Why? Because the products activate. They're naturally supporting their own body to do the work. Now, remember, your health is your wealth. And with LifeVantage, you can find a way to do both for your health and for your wealth. So I want to close on one of the papers that Skip referred to, which is from Washington State University back in 2015, but good research never gets old. They said, and I quote, the health effects of NRF2 may well be the most extraordinary therapeutic and most extraordinary preventative breakthrough in the history of medicine. Hello? When have we had that before? Penicillin probably was the last one we had of that. So it's time that medical people and everybody start to look at natural alternatives that have got robust science, because that's the health and wealth of our future. And I'd just like to thank Skip so much for giving his time away on Friday night in the States to be with us today and to educate us and to ignite us and to just show us what you can do and what is possible. Thanks very much, everybody.